It's aliens. Every single day we are getting closer and closer to the idea that these drones in the sky could possibly be extraterrestrial. Now, Wright Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio has announced that they had to shut the doors and turn everything off. The whole base was shut down for a certain amount of time because they saw these drones over the base. Now, this is important because this brings us all the way back to 1947, the crash at Roswell. The radio broadcast of the 1947 Roswell crash said that the debris was brought to Wright Pat.
The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army. Army officers say the missile, found sometime last week, has been inspected at Roswell, New Mexico, and sent to Wright Field, Ohio, for further inspection.
Now, that is where we believe, not even we believe, we know that whatever was found at the Roswell crash was brought to Ohio. So now we know that these objects are appearing over where the Roswell crash debris was brought. The next thing that we need to keep a lookout for is if these objects appear over New Mexico. Now, we know that if they appeared over Roswell or Corona, New Mexico, where exactly the objects in 1947 happened, where the crash happened, it was actually in Corona, New Mexico, not Roswell. It's just very close to Roswell. Is that we start to see those objects there, we're going to know that this is extraterrestrial. But there is another base in America, Kirtland Air Force Base, which is in New Mexico, again, that the beings, right? So you had the crash debris was brought to Wright Pat in Ohio, and the dead pilots, the aliens that were captured, were brought to Kirtland Air Force Base in New Mexico. So if we hear that these objects are starting to appear over New Mexico, we're going to know firsthand that this is extraterrestrial. Okay? Now, over the weekend, there was also a drone crash in Hillsborough, New Jersey.
A major response from authorities that could be related to an incident involving a drone. It is happening in Hillsborough, New Jersey. Fox 5's Stephanie Bertini is live from that scene. Stephanie, obviously so much frustration about what is even happening in the skies above us, so this might be a big answer.
And that's the town that I was raised in, and all my friends, my whole family, we all grew up in Hillsborough, New Jersey. And that's where this drone went down. It went down right where the Lowe's and Applebee's is in town. And that's kind of like the center of town. Like Hillsborough doesn't necessarily have like a center of town. It's kind of like where the Dunkin' Donuts, the Lowe's is, and the Applebee's. That is kind of like our center of town. So it's kind of like weird that that's where it went down. Almost where like the most amount of people are. Okay, now, why Hillsborough, right? Like why are they over Hillsborough? Well, back in World War II, Hillsborough held one of the biggest supplies of mercury in the country. Okay, so during World War II, a lot of the mercury in America was stored in these bins in Hillsborough. So when we were growing up, like in high school, we used to hop these gates, these fences, and we would be in these like industrial complexes where all the mercury used to be held. And back in the day, if you got caught doing it, it was kind of like a slap on the wrist. Like the police would not allow you back there. But during World War II, Hillsborough held a lot of the mercury in America. So you gotta wonder, it's like, does that have something to do with it? Whether they're drones from a foreign country, are they looking for that mercury? Or is it connected to extraterrestrials and they're looking for that mercury? I'm not really sure. But I do know that the crash debris from Roswell was taken to Wright Patterson. And Wright Patterson announced that they shut down because they saw these objects over the base.
The Dayton Daily News reports that the base says no property was damaged and no one was harmed. I went to the Wright Patterson Air Force Base. They were unable to talk to us.
And I find that very strange. Out of all the bases in America, for Wright Pat to announce that, it's strange. It's connected to Roswell, 1947. So, yeah, guys, let me know. Is it just me, or does it seem like the news and the media are really starting to open up the idea that these things could be extraterrestrial? To me, it seems like it. I would love to know what you guys have to say about it, so let me know. Talk to you soon.